What's up, everybody? Nate here from Out of the Basement, bringing you a brand new action figure review. Today, from Star Wars The Black Series, we're looking at the 40th anniversary of The Empire Strikes Back Rebel Soldier, in parentheses, HOTH. And I know I'm not the only one who has this on their most anticipated Black Series figures of the year list, so I'm super happy to finally be able to take a look at this. Of course, massive shout out to Jedi Hunter 83, aka Jeremy, on Instagram. He hooked it up big time with this, found it at his local Target and shipped it to me, so I'm very thankful for him. I will leave a link for his Instagram in the description of this video. Definitely go check it out. He takes a lot of really cool pictures of Black Series figures. But yeah, I'm super excited. We haven't gotten a Rebel Soldier in a very long time. Of course, there aren't very many Rebel Soldiers in the line to begin with, and the HOTH one is always looking awesome. And I'm sure most of you know by now how awesome this guy is. He's got tons of goodies packed in him, so let's not waste a whole lot of time. Here is the classic Kenner style Empire Strikes Back card back. Of course, this is a 6-inch figure. I have seen some people comment asking whether or not these are 6-inch figures. These are 6-inch Black Series figures, just in a classic Kenner style like they did a few years back for the original movie, and I'm sure like they'll do a few years from now for Return of the Jedi. So it is on a blister card. You can see the awesome old school Kenner logo up in the top. The 40th anniversary logo is right there. You have the Kenner logo down here. On the back, there is no bio. It just says commemorate the 40th anniversary of Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back with figures from the Black Series featuring classic design and packaging. And here are some other figures from the wave. We've already got a review for Snowspeeder Luke up, so check that out. The Imperial TIE Pilot review will be coming soon. Of course, you're watching this one. And we also have the Dagobah R2 review already up on the channel. Definitely go check those out if you haven't watched them already. Here we go. This is a brand new figure. One of the few brand new figures that we got in this current collection. So we're going to open him up. We'll take a look at his accessories and then the figure itself. And unlike Jrick, I use surgical precision to open my blister cards. We have right here an all black plastic small blaster. I can't remember the name of this one off the top of my head. Honestly, one of the first times in the Black Series that I can recall where this weapon is not painted at all, at least the little silver part you can see right here. Typically, it always looks like this, and they usually always include the little silver bit of paint here, but we've seen this gun a million times. It looks good. It's a good sculpt. Would I have wished there was some paint on it? Absolutely, but I think they more than make up for it with the actual figure. Then for the first time in the Black Series, here we have the long Rebel rifle, which looks fantastic, looks very accurate to the movie based on my memory. Of course, this is also completely devoid of paint, but it is a nice sort of dark gunmetal gray plastic. Probably would have preferred it to be a black plastic just because that usually looks a little bit better, and this kind of looks very for lack of a better term, action figure-y. But yeah, really nice accessory here. Really happy to finally see this rifle in the Black Series. And then we've also got his little bandana, which I will show you later on the figure, but this actually can go two ways. You can flip it up like this to have it cover the face, or you can flip it down and have it around his neck. Again, I will be showing that off. This is just some beige plastic. Absolutely no paint apps on there. We also have the backpack, which looks pretty dang good. We've got little variations of paint on here. It's a white plastic with silver paint on it, except for on some of the like tubing right here. You can see that it is actually painted white. You can see some of that gray shining through right there. But then on top here, you can see that it is the white plastic with a little bit of gray on it. And on the inside here, you can see there's a little door here. Little door, and I think most of you know this by now, but there is an alternate face. So this is a first for the Black Series right here. We're getting alternate faces for the Rebel Trooper so that you can have him have a different look, so that you can actually properly army build and not just have the same exact face on every single one. Although you do have plenty of options with the Hoth Trooper. And we'll look at that face a little bit more later once I show you how to tab it out and switch it out and all that good stuff. But the backpack looks pretty good. You can see on the back of the figure here, it just sort of pegs in there. Fits really well. And I guess if you technically wanted to count these, you also get the Hoth Soldier goggles, which have a nice translucent green plastic on them and a nice little elastic band so that you can pose it on top of his hat, over his eyes, or just take them off, whatever you want to do. So you have a lot of accessories with this guy. It's a bummer that the guns are lacking paint, but the amount of accessories you get more than makes up for it. The alternate face, obviously, is the draw of this figure, something that's never been done in the Black Series before. So now let's go ahead and we'll take a look at the Hoth Rebel Soldier. All right, and here is the Hoth Rebel Trooper out of the packaging, and he looks really, really damn awesome. I've got some very minor gripes with him, very minor, things that I think maybe could have been executed a little bit better on this particular release. I don't know if it's just my copy or if it's a widespread issue, but there are some things that are a little annoying. Of course, you can see I kind of have him at an angle right here, which, again, having difficulty standing him up straight up with his backpack. He seems like he wants to fall over. He's got a little bit of Jango Fett syndrome going on, but as far as the details go on this figure, he looks damn good. So let's go ahead. We're going to get him off the stand and take a closer look. And taking a close look here, you can see that I have the bandana flipped up on his head, which to do this, all you got to do is take the head off. And this is kind of frustrating because I think this could have worked a little bit better. And that is the bandana placement. When it's placed up like this, it kind of has a hole, like a little slit you can see right here, where when you got it placed up like this, oh, you know, yeah, that makes sense. It goes right here, no questions asked, and then you just put the head on. And the idea behind this works if you have him like this, just kind of looking forward, not really doing much, but the minute you move his head out of the way, of course, you know, his nose is sticking out, his mouth is sticking out. It doesn't really stay onto his face, which I don't know what I was expecting, but I kind of would have maybe liked something that could attach to the sides of the head to get it to hold on a little bit better rather than just being around the neck right there, because you kind of have to move it all together to get it to look in the opposite directions. But when you do get it placed on there right, it does definitely look very awesome. Love the way that it looks with the bandana up. And then, of course, something that's more frustrating is the bandana down placement, because now you see you kind of got like a little guide right here where it's supposed to go. You stick it on there and, yeah, I don't know, just it's kind of pinched, which I don't think it's supposed to be pinched, but when I don't think it should be, but I don't know what else to do. And of course, when it is facing down like this, it's going to inhibit the articulation a little bit. But yeah, that just concerns me that it's just kind of getting pinched in there. I don't know what would happen over time or anything like that, because it obviously is a very thin piece of plastic. But just based on aesthetics, it looks awesome. It serves its purpose of having the scarf down look going on. And then same thing up here. I actually don't know if this is supposed to be here or not. There's also a slit in the back of the helmet. I kind of feel like this is not supposed to be here. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, so that's how that works. Good Lord, that's terrifying. So the head piece actually comes off. So that's why it looks like there's such a big gap there. Kind of in the back, you can see it gaps out a little bit. But you can just put the goggles down over his face. They're kind of already loose. I almost feel like the goggles might be a little too big. So the way they fit over his nose, he just looks like he's wearing gigantic goggles. And the strap is loose. This little strap back here, so you kind of gotta play with it to get it to sit on his head right. I don't know how this could have been done better, but definitely over time, you know, this strap piece is gonna be worn out as well. And it's gonna, over time, just get looser and looser around his head. So for now, they're just gonna stay up there. And let's take a look at the face. We haven't even got to the face yet. So you can see he's got a wonderful photoreal face. I would assume he is supposed to be the actor that is on the actual card back. And he looks absolutely fantastic. It's a nice matte finish except for around the eyeballs. So you have that realistic eyeball tween. And he also has some nice rosy red cheeks because, you know, it's cold as hell on Hoth. So that is a very nice detail there. The photoreal is very cleanly applied. Definitely like the way this turned out. So now let's swap the face. So you got to take the goggles off, take the headpiece off. For the sake of the rest of the review, we'll just leave that bandana off. And then pop this face piece off. Then you got your new head. Just plugs right in there. No questions asked. And then put your hat back on. And boom. You got a new Hoth Rebel Soldier, which I believe, no, maybe it is a slightly different head sculpt. Yeah, it's not the same face, just with a beard, which I kind of thought that at first. But yeah, this is a different head sculpt here. And this one looks even better, I think. I think this face is going to be my default face I have him displayed with. Again, it's a nice matte finish with that sheen on the eyeballs. And he's got the rosy red cheeks. And he also has a killer beard that's actually mildly sculpted onto the face. So that is a really nice detail there. And moving on, let's look at the helmet here. You see you got a nice little bit of silver paint on the actual head there for the communicator piece. He's mostly just white and gray, a mix of paints and plastics all the way down. You can see he's got some really nice reflective silver bits on the front of his jacket, which this is a soft piece that hides a more hard plastic underneath. And that's very nice because it looks matte, so I like the way that that turned out. I would assume this is his ranking on the shoulder. The little scarf covering piece is hard plastic now. I don't have Hoth Luke, but I know that on Hoth Luke this is actually cloth. On his wrist here, he's got his little pad thingy that is also a nice silver paint application. The costume also just looks really great. You've got all those nice little ruffles and rivets like the cross pattern on here. It's kind of bright now that I have my lights shining directly on it. There you go. You can see he's got like the cross patterns going on that we see on Hoth, Leia, Han, everyone. And he's got some more separation of color. The gloves are gray. The wristband is more of like a beige. And he's got some silver on his buckle. Got his little pouch there. Back here, he's got some doodads that are unpainted. Because, you know, Hasbro doesn't like to paint the backs of their figures. And moving down, the pants look great. The boots are a very nice sculpt as well. Of course, we've seen these on all the Hoth characters. They all have similar boots when they're on the planet. And yeah, I think the details really shine on this figure. Easily some of the best detailing we've seen in the Black Series ever. And on top of that, he's got great articulation. But before we get into that, of course, you've got a million different combinations you can do with this guy. So you can have goggles off, goggles on, goggles over the eyes. And you can have all of that looks with either the bandana in the upper position or flipped down. And then on top of that, you can do that swapped between the two faces. So I think there's a total of 6. Maybe even more if you want to switch up what gun he's holding. So you basically get at least 6 different options for how you would like the Hoth Trooper to look, which I just think is amazing. This is how you do an army builder. I hope Hasbro down the road will re-release A New Hope Rebel Soldier with some different faces. I hope in the future the Endor Trooper gets some different faces, because this is just a fantastic idea. But hey, maybe this also could open up the opportunity, maybe through Hasbro Pulse, where they just sell us faces. Different faces for these Rebel Troopers. I think that would be something really cool to explore. Yeah, as far as details go, amazing. Of course, he's got some frustrating pieces to him, like I was discussing earlier. And those are things that I don't know if those are widespread issues or if I just have a not so great copy of the figure. I don't know. So comment down below and let me know if you guys are having those issues as well. We're going to stick that backpack back on here. And we're going to take a look at his articulation. So let's do it. All right. And he can look up pretty damn far. He can look down an okay amount, pretty much not at all, ever so slightly. He does have the double neck joint there, so he has a joint down here, and then he also has one on his skull. But you can see, you can get that independent rotation, or you can move it all around. So you got plenty of side to side, and moving it all around. My joint seems to be sticking out a little bit. You can see some gapping there. The arms move out this far, and they can rotate all the way around. He does have butterfly joints in there. Hell yes, always love the butterfly joints. The single jointed elbow is the nice deep cut, so you get a little bit more than 90. You also get the swivel. The hand rotates, and he has the horizontal hinge on this hand, which is a sort of trigger finger hand. And then on his actual trigger finger hand, you get the vertical hinge, and of course it rotates as well. So that is super nice. And for the ab crunch, that's about as far forward as you get. And back with his feet on the ground, just kind of looks like he's standing straight up. Legs out to the side. You can see this leg can go out more than the other one. This one's got a cut at the skirt right there, where obviously this one has the holster for the blaster. The legs can kick up pretty far. That's as far as he goes with his foot on the ground. Other foot also has a decent amount of range as well, despite the holster there. This is a nice soft piece of plastic. Oh, I always forget to mention on the chest, you know, you get the side to side, you get the rotation, all that jazz. Double jointed knees, and he can kick his own ass, swoosh style, which is great. Although I don't mind the new single jointed knees at all. I think they do what they need to for the Black Series. And the foot can go down, and it can go up just a little bit. And of course, he's got that wonderful ankle pivot. And I'm also forgetting to mention the thigh rotation right there. So really awesome articulation on the Hoth Rebel Trooper. Now we're going to compare him to some other Black Series figures, as well as some other Star Wars figures in general. And starting this off right, we've got him with the Imperial Snow Trooper and Snowspeeder Luke, which is a fantastic figure. Of course, we got a review, like I said earlier. Then here he is with the Empire Strikes Back 40th Anniversary TIE Pilot and the Inferno Squad Agent. Then we've got him with the Black Series Boba Fett and the Bandai Model Kit Boba Fett. Then here he is with the Mafex First Order Stormtrooper and the SH Figuarts Hover Tank Pilot. Then with the Hoth Han Solo and Tauntaun. Then finally with the Imperial Probe Droid and Hoth Leia. So yeah, to no one's surprise, I absolutely love this figure. I definitely have a few minor gripes with it, but I think the good 110% outweigh the bad for this guy. I can't wait to pick up more of these. So yeah, the accessories are pretty damn awesome. Of course, the guns could have been painted to make it even better. But he's got a ton of accessories, including an alternate face, which is a first for the Black Series, and in my opinion, a technique that was executed pretty damn well. He's got great details, great articulation, looks very accurate to the Hoth soldier, and he's going to look great on your Hoth display, your Empire Strikes Back display. However, you're going to have him posed up with your Star Wars figures on your shelf. So there you go. That's my review. Easily one of the best Black Series figures of the year so far. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Did you pick this one up yet? Or are you waiting for that sweet, sweet pre-order to come in? let me know. Of course, if you enjoyed my review, don't forget to leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. We're always talking about Star Wars action figures on the channel. So if that's something you enjoy, hit that subscribe button. I'm Nate. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.